I told this story when I did one of my interviews with Freeway Ricky for the first time, and I explained to him I had just watched the movie Deep Cover,
Hmm.
and the whole Jewish guy working with the black guy somehow touched me, and I had a friend who was a former drug dealer, and I'm like, oh, let's buy a kilo together. So I gave him 17,000. He came to my house, started cooking it up in my kitchen with his son playing Nintendo in my living room. And he was like, "Oh man, I don't know if this stuff is real, but yeah, I'll take care of it. I'm gonna get this fixed." And that was the last time I seen that money. So I got ripped off for 17,000 for a kilo of cocaine. And I remember thinking, I don't have many options right now. I can't call the police, right?
That was the deal.
I'm gonna have to either physically hurt him or possibly kill him to get this money back. And I'm not prepared to do that. So let me just take my loss and get out of this game because clearly I'm not built for this.
And that's the that's the crossroads of it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. When someone rips you off, what do you do? And I realized I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to quit. And I was mad about this for so many years. I even ran into it and said, no, I'm going to pay you. Take my number down. I never paid me, right? And what Freeway told me that totally changed my perspective, he said, you do know if he didn't rip you off, you would have probably went to prison eventually. And I said, oh shit, I never thought about it that way. I spent 17,000 to stay out of prison. My
bang,
lawyer bills alone would have been way more than that. And I
yeah,
probably would have gone to prison at the same time. And I've told this story on camera so many times, I think I've made probably triple that amount just talking about it. So
yeah,
it actually kind of worked out in the long run, but I do understand how dirty this game is.
yeah. The game is very. It changed my. I always say that it stole my compassion
Hmm.
and a little bit of my youth, and all of this is because at the time, 14, I'm not mentally strong enough to avoid or not want to be outside, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom has a job. I don't want for nothing. I'm not doing this to take care of my family.
Yeah.
I'm outside and I'm considering these people the cool people,
Mm.
you know. And I had the same shoes because my mom would buy name brand shoes. I had the same shoes, but I think I had a lot of my pops in me.
Mm.
My pops was real fly. And I may have wanted some of these things too early than necessary. So for the youth, I never glorified like, yo, this was a weakness. This was a deficiency in my character at 14, 15, 16 years old. So, and then I wonder why I never stopped with so many hurdles to overcome. So now my speech is the same effort that you put in to do bad, why you can't put that same effort in to do good? Because I
Mm.
got 5 bones
Mm.
broken in my face when Quincy hit me.
Mm.
Why didn't I stop? I got thrown in the dumpster. Why didn't I stop? I lost drugs. Why didn't I stop? And I got robbed. I had so many chances to take the exit that I didn't. And eventually, 4 days after I turned 19, I get popped.
Yeah. And I'll get into that part of the story. So at one point, you found out your dad was smoking crack.
Yeah, that was at 18, 18 years old.
Did that shake you up?
What's crazy, I wish it would have. And I I didn't look at it like it was me. He got robbed, right? I remember my dad got robbed on this street in this neighborhood called Woodfair off Corporate. So I come on the block and some young boys is telling me how they just robbed these two old dudes that was trying to buy something from them. They just took their stuff. So let me see what you got. And I noticed the ring and the watch.
Mm.
And I'm like, yo, just man, put that in the bag. I'm finna take that. And they like, damn, you gonna take our stuff? And I'm like, yo, you took it from somebody, didn't you? And they know I had the look. And I'm like, yo, bro, just put the stuff in the bag. Gave them a couple dollars for it. And then I went and I to my dad's place and I threw the bag at him.
Hmm.
I was like, yo, here go your stuff. And my dad said that because he was with the dude, he's like, man, he got me robbed.
Hmm.
You know, I was with him. So I eventually, I think maybe like 2 weeks later, I end up telling my mom about it,
Hmm.
that he had got robbed. I said, I think my pops got robbed. She said he was probably somewhere smoking crack. And I'm like, my dad don't smoke no crack. Because he had just told me he didn't. And my mom looked at me in my face and was like, boy, I done put your dad in rehab twice.
Oh.
And this is away from each other. Like, they not even together.
Huh.
She just trying to help him out. And I went back and told him, I said, yo, mama said that you was smoking crack. I didn't even say my mom. I said, man, you were smoking crack. And he said, who told you that? Your mama? She always talking about your mama violate my HIPAA rights.
Not the HIPAA rights.
I was like, she can't be talking about my business. I'm like,
Like she's a doctor or
I
something.
say, man,
Like,
this man is crazy town. So,
violated my HIPAA rights.
but he eventually got clean, and I remember calling him one time. I may have been 42, something up in there. I said, yo, man, I need to talk to you, bro. I just need to holler at you. My dad caught a bus from Alexandria, Louisiana to come down and just spend time with me. And it was like for 2 hours. And then he was looked at me and was like, you don't need me, right? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm still. He like, I'm finna get in these streets. My dad came back to Houston and was in these streets for like 3 days. He didn't leave for like 3 days. I only saw him for those 2 hours that he came hung out with me. But that's probably what all I needed. That was enough.